Hey guys, since I'm stuck in traffic, driving slowly, I wanted to make a quick video about talking, should you spar or not when you first start Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Is there any sense of waiting to spar for a month, 2 months, or whatever it is? Or is it okay to jump right into it? So it's a great conversation to have because it has a lot of different points of views. I'm going to tell you my point of view, so stick around for this video. Depending where you are, especially if you're younger, like 18 through like, I don't know, 26, 24, and you have this very competitive edge in you, you definitely would want to spar on the first day because you want to test your instructor, you want to test other students. And I get it. But in my opinion, especially, having my own school and now working for Master Marcio and seeing new students joining the program, I could say that you're going to fall into two different categories in general. The first category, you're pretty athletic, you've done some sports all your life, you've played, you're very physical, and you're not, new to this idea of competition. And then there's people that are sedentary, maybe they wanted to get into jiu-jitsu because they want to get in shape, they want to have some activity which helps them to relieve stress, and that's another group of people you might fall into. And the problem is when these two people mix in a class, the people that had prior sports experience are going to discourage the complete beginner, and it's not fair for them. You know what I mean? And so most of the time, people that come into jiu-jitsu class usually have an environment where they're thrown to the sharks, or they're thrown with other students in a sparring situation where they don't know enough to make jiu-jitsu enjoyable, and most of them eventually quit. So that's the problem of, in my opinion, sparring right away. For instance, I'm crazy, and I'm going to tell you this story because it's important to hear. I started jiu-jitsu, I've done martial arts prior to that, but I started jiu-jitsu in 2004. And I thought I was a badass. I thought, like, you know what, I'm going to show up there, I'm going to show these guys what to do. And I'm crazy because no amount of discouragement is going to stop me from doing martial arts. So keep that in mind because this story is crazy. So I went to my jiu-jitsu school, and there's this kid named Greg Wood. He's doesn't matter, he teaches jiu-jitsu somewhere else, I'll tell the story later, but he was a blue belt at the time, and he was a smaller guy, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go with him. Like, how tough can he be? You know what? So I wrestle with him because I don't know any jiu-jitsu at that point, and I smash him in terms of, like, I don't submit him. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm smashing him because I'm throwing him left, right, not realizing that he's letting me do all that stuff because he wants me to have a pleasant experience rolling, because he understands, And in my mind, though, I'm like, holy crap, I just beat their blue belt. Even though I didn't submit him, I felt like I was in control the whole time. So then my next turn to roll with this guy, Mike Ryder, we became really good friends. And he'll probably deny this story, but just to give you an idea, when he started, he was really young, very small, skinny dude, but eventually he got the nickname the Enforcer. Anyway, more on that story later, but here I am. I'm like, you know what, I just beat that guy, which I didn't, but in my mind, I'm delirious that I did, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with Mike. You know what does he have? So Mike is an interesting guy because he's like, listen, you know what, okay, so we start sparring, not realizing, what I'm about to get myself into. And sure enough, 2 seconds into it, he gets me into an arm bar. I'm like, what the hell? I don't even know what an arm bar is. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pull my arm out and I'm gonna smash him because I'm stronger. And then my elbow pops a little bit and I tap right away because I'm like, okay, that didn't sound good. So now I'm pissed. I'm like, he got lucky. Obviously, he just got lucky because I just beat his friend who's also a blue belt. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And so literally not even 10 seconds later, he gets me in another arm. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, I'm going to smash, I'm going to escape, no matter what. And he pops my other arm. Like, luckily there were small pops, and, my elbows were sore for 3 weeks after that. And I couldn't really, straighten them out completely, and probably to this day. But here's the point of the story. So when I rolled with Greg, he let me play. which is a very scary thing to do because me being crazy and wild, he could have gotten hurt. But he took that chance. Where Mike, he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm not gonna let this guy play. He's too wild. He's gonna hurt me. So he brought his A game and submitted me in the process. Now, if I was a regular person and I just got both my elbows tweaked, I would never come back to jiu-jitsu. But I'm not normal, and I came back. And so the point here, this all would have been avoided if I came to a beginner's class where there was no sparring and instead there was just drilling, and people explained to me the point of submission, why you should tap, why going crazy doesn't work. And so, you know, you take this story to where you want to take it, but in my opinion, if you are in a school as a complete beginner, even if you wrestled a little bit, maybe wrestling I'll give you a pass, but like, if you're a beginner, you should have a class where there's no sparring, at least for the first month, first 4 weeks. You should be focusing, learning the fundamentals. You should be focusing, doing the drills and getting better at jiu-jitsu. So when it's time to spar, you will actually be doing jiu-jitsu, and not what I did when I first started, is just trying to brawl with everybody. So because I was in a very competitive environment where everybody fought each other, it was very discouraging for me. And I don't even know how we had an existing program back in the day, because people, I think it's because people were crazy that were doing jiu-jitsu back in the day, because they were fighting all the time and everybody's getting beat up. And if you're a new student, you basically, the rule of thumb was like, for the first year, guess what? You're paying the price. And maybe for the crazy people, this works fine, but for normal people who just want to have an enjoyable jiu-jitsu with jiu-jitsu, this is not a way to learn. Because number one, you want to stay safe. Number two, you want to have fun. And number three, if you get hurt or your partner gets hurt, you're no longer able to train. So I hope you guys found some value in this video, in my opinion, because this is exactly what it is. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. So let me know what your first experience were, what you think is the right approach to. But anyway, thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. If you're first to this channel or you haven't subscribed and you've been watching this video, check out more videos on this channel. Like, share, subscribe. If you hate something, let me know. Of course, I want to get better. And thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.